What we got with us today?
Hood Mechanic Tony.
Mr. Tony,
Mr.
tell
Tony.
us a bit about yourself, man. How you grew up, where you grew up, all that good stuff.
I grew up in North St. Louis. Moved to North County. Ended up getting put out of Normandy School District and moved to New York. I did some dumb stuff. I ended up stealing something from my mother, and she said, "You got to get out." So I didn't have nowhere else to go. So I had a friend that was going to New York to pick up something, and I went up there, and when I went up there, they showed me love. So I said, "Hey, I'm staying in New York. The hell with St. Louis." And that's where I ended up at.
What kind of household did you grow up in? Single parent, both
It
parents?
was both parents. It was actually pretty decent. I made the choices that I made. You know what I'm saying?
You got brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have a brother and I have a stepsister, but they're both doing good.
What schools did you go to growing up, Mr.
I
Tony?
went to Normandy. I went to Booter. Lived in the East Side. I went to. I can't even remember what school that was.
Did you graduate?
I graduated in prison. I got my GED in prison.
What led you to leave school early without graduating?
When I don't know, went through Normandy. They got what's called a 9th grade program, and I did some stuff. And when I got put out of the school district, I just said to hell with it. I was gonna go get a trade and get a job. Like most young people think, hey, I was going to trade school. Well, it's not that easy. You know what I'm saying? First of all, your education is important. You know what I'm saying? So, if you're seeking an education, get one. It's a lot easier.
Where did life take you after you left high school early and the trade programs and all that? Like
Penitentiary, New York State Prison. I went up there and went straight to prison. After 1 year. I came out, got my CDL Class A. I was a truck driver, but I still had a habit, and that habit brought me back to prison. You know what I'm saying? The rules are a lot more rigorous in New York. You piss dirty there, it's not like in Missouri. You piss dirty here, and you better go get yourself clean. You're not leaving out the office there. They lock the door. And sir, come on with me. You're going straight to Albany County.
what was some of the differences that you noticed from the Midwest, St. Louis, in New York? Like, what made you fall in love with New York?
Because, and I don't want to say it, I love my city, but St. Louis people just, they like really got tired of me real quick, like they did the Rams, they just, St. Louis, if you ain't winning, they gone, you know what I'm saying? So New Yorkers, they didn't care. We sit in the Palladium. My partner's like, whatever you do, you can do it here. In the Palladium, really?
What year was this, Mr. Tony?
This was '94. We sitting in the Palladium and we see Queen Latifah sitting over in the next booth. We like, damn, everybody's getting high, everybody's doing what they do.
For people who may not be cognitive of what the Palladium is, can you please define and describe what the Palladium is? Because a lot of people might not. I know what it is,
Right.
but a lot of people may not know what the Palladium is.
Palladium is it's actually a club in New York, but they do more stuff at the Palladium. They do small concert venues and things of that nature. But it's a club, and it's always packed,
Who might you see in the Palladium? Who might you bump into? Who might you be rubbing elbows with in that Palladium?
Anybody. I told you, we were sitting right there, and I walked up on Queen Latifah, and she's in the next booth, and I said, "Hey, what's up? You barely know your ABC." She looked at me and said, "Please." All right. So you never know who you're gonna see. It's like New York is like that. Nobody's starstruck. They don't care. You see famous people walk right past you. It's
How was being incarcerated in New York? How did that change your life, or did it change your mindset, or what?
It made me want better because I was all the way up in New York and I didn't have any family up there at that time, and it just made me say, hey, what the hell am I doing, and then when I got out, I got married before I got out, and it was pretty cool until me and my wife went on the same mission, and it just, it was bad.
What particular situation or incident introduced you to the lifestyle that you currently live in or took you down that path?
With the using?
With the toxic substances, yes, sir.
Trying to be grown. You know, when I was younger, all my partners, they did their thing. You know, they smoked, and they had one thing that they used to do called Primos, and everybody said, "Hey, we gonna smoke the Primos," and like I said, you know, I got with somebody, and they introduced me into doing it straight. You know, hey, you wasting this, come on, and I tried that, and that was the beginning of the end.
Hey, man. And I'm sure you can attest to what I'm about to say. The majority of people who indulge in toxic substances started off with the reefer. The reefer turned into the funky ones, Primos, lasers, whatever you called them.
There you go.
And then it led to, hey, we're gonna leave the reefer out of this. We're just gonna go straight to this. And might have started with a little powder, but eventually that powder got a little stiffer, a little harder, and it had to be smoked. So it's like, from that transition, how did your life change, man? Like,
it went down real fast. You know, I started doing things that I never thought I would do. You know, stealing things from the house, and you know, just dumb shit. Excuse my language. You know, it just it makes you do things that you think you would never do, and it's because it's not that you want to do someone dirty. It's just the mindset you have. Oh, I can fix that. Oh, I can cover that. Oh, I can spend my rent, but I can cover that, you know.
What they say, a treatment stinking thinking.
Oh, stinking thinking, it takes you there. You know, it's like now, I'm 50 years old, and where we're at right now, this is my job. You know, I scrap. You know, I'm also a mechanic, but I find it a lot better scrapping. You know, I don't have to deal with people because a lot of people don't want to deal with me until their car's down. And it's like, hey, my buddy, hey, where you been? You know, and then they don't want to pay. You know, it's like, we're going to pay you crackhead.
They only want to deal with you when you win.
There it is.
We don't need you. Stay over there, stay out the way,
There
and shut up.
There it is. And they scrap you, and they're like, hey, come on.
How long were you married, Mr. Tony?
Let's see, I got married in 95, and, no, I got married in 98, and, got divorced in 2000.
Kids?
No kids out of this relationship.
Where did life take you after your divorce?
Brought me back here and straight back to prison.
Did your mindset change after the second time that you got out?
No, it didn't. Actually, this time when I went, it wasn't because of, and I'm not saying I'm the victim, poor me, but it was one of those situations in Missouri, they will show your ass. A lot of people say, I'm not doing nothing, I don't have nothing. Yeah, okay. They will show your ass, you know. They stopped me one day, and we used to steal lawnmowers. So I'm over on the south side stealing lawnmowers out of these people's backyards and shit. So the cop pulls me over on 39th and 39th and Flora, and he says, hey, what are you doing with all these lawnmowers? So I give him this old bullshit story. Hey, I'm starting a lawn service, and I'm just canvassing the area and trying to see if anybody needs their lawns cut and blah, blah, blah. He looked at me, he said, sir, you want to stick with that story? I said, yeah. He said, turn around. He cuffed my ass up, and he said, hey, where'd the gun come from? I didn't have a gun, because I smoked crack. If I had a gun, I would have sold it. You know, I know that. So, you know, this is the cards we were dealt. He showed me.
Mr. Tony, what kind of advice could you give a young person that's thinking about coming out on these streets and they think they got the toxic substances in the chokehold and it's not going to affect them or bother them? Please take your time, and what would you tell them?
I would tell them, stop a second and think. Think it all the way through. You know, I'm not one to say, hey, don't do this, you, because when you point one finger, 3 points back at you. But I will tell them this. Think your situation all the way through. When this is gone, you're going to want more. What are you going to do to get more? Think that shit all the way through. Because, you know, it's always going to lead to some type of criminal activity.
Mr. Tony, if you can go back and talk to a young Mr. Tony, knowing what you know today, what would you tell him?
Stay your ass in school. Don't touch any drugs, and Make your own destiny. Don't listen to what people have to say, because you can send yourself to prison. You don't need any dummies telling you, hey, well, we can do this and we can do this and I got this, and no. The hell with that, because you're gonna end up there anyway. But you feel a lot better about it when you're in there. Hey, I sent myself. I didn't listen to Joe Blow tell me, hey man, we can go get away with this ATM snatch and all this old dumb shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Tony, we appreciate you taking time out with us, man. We wish you the best. And if it's anything that you can leave us with on the closeout, any advice, any knowledge, any wisdom, now's the time, man.
No matter how old you are, for people that are my age now, I'm still growing, because I'm pretty sure if anyone saw my last interview, they saw how I was, and you see my demeanor now. A lot of things have told me, yeah, I'm still drinking a beer. I mean, but it's not as bad. I did other things when I interviewed that I'm not doing now, and just hey, if you want it bad enough, you can have anything in this world. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to suffer. There's too much out here. If you turn around and look at that place, it's called Metro Mellons. That guy who owns that is a millionaire. You know why? And he did the same thing I did. He scrapped. But you know what? Put it into something else. You can get it. Just and for the youngsters, or for myself, I would tell me, hey man, stay in school and think first. Because I'm not gonna say stay prayed up, because everybody's not religious, and I'm not really that much religious. I'm spiritual, but I'm not a religious person. So had I thought things through, there you go. Because I believe God speaks to you, and He speaks through us. So
Mr. Tony,
I should have listened.
Mr. Tony, we appreciate you. We thank you. We wish you all the best, man, and bless you, man. Thank you.
All right, thank you, and bless you too.